Pick your side. Peter Brock or Dick Johnson, come both survive. Holding on for that war never end. Bathurst settles it or it starts again. Red line on my chest, running, holding through my blood. Commodore in the driveway, VA sitting in the mud. Bathurst 1972, that's when legend spoke. Peter Brock put Holden on the map, the forwards choke. Got the family backing me up, Dad drove an HQ. Granddad had a Tirana, yeah, we know what's true. You can keep your Falcon mic, your Tickford and your XR. Nothing touches a lion badge when we're talking cars. 7 generations deep, it runs in the blood. Can't explain it to someone who never understood. Pick your side before you leave the hospital bed. Holding on forward, that's the first thing I would say. Holding on forward, that's the question they ask. Been fighting since forever, it's been setting our paths. Red versus blue, yeah, it's more than a race. Australian car culture, can't nobody replace. Holding on forward, bleed it deep in your soul. This ain't just about a car, mate, this is rock and roll. 2 tribes, 1 country, 1 man, 1 panorama road. Holding on forward, that's how the story goes. Now the forward side talking back, they ain't wrong either way. Peter Brock had his day, but so did Dick Johnson's way. But we talking Falcons here, the GT and the GTHO. Fastest production car on earth, ask anyone who knows. Cleveland in the engine bay, that's a proper sound. Dick Johnson kicking doors and tearing up the ground. Boss of Bathurst, boss of the street, boss of Sunday drive. Long as Australians breathe petrol, the 4 legends survive. 7 generations deep, it runs in the blood. Can't explain it to someone who never understood. Pick your side before you leave the hospital bed. Holding on forward, that's the first thing I would say. Holding on forward, that's a question they ask. Been fighting since forever, it's been set in our past. Red versus blue, yeah, it's more than a race. Australian car culture, can't nobody replace. Holding on forward, bleed it deep in your soul. This ain't just about the car, mate, this is rock and roll. 2 tribes, 1 country, 1 man on panorama road. Holding on forward, that's how the story goes. Friday night at the servo, both sides rolling up. V Commodore, part next to an FG, what's up? Respect across the divide when both builds are clean. Same Australian spirit running through the machine. Well, rims versus Simmons, supercharger blowing, now the side is backing down. Nobody running slower, talk till midnight. Swap numbers on the night. When both tribes love cars as much, you know it's right. Now both of them are gone, the factories are closed, but the spirit of the battle is in the ones we chose. Can't buy one new, but you can still find them used. Commodores and Falcons love to never refuse. Collect the market blowing up, prices through the roof. 50,000 for a genuine GT, there's your proof. Australia never forgot what we built down here. Holding on for that war gap culture alive for years. Holding on for, that's the question they ask. Been fighting since forever, it's been set in our past. Red versus blue, yeah, it's more than a race. Australian car culture, can't nobody replace. Holding on for, bleed it deep in your soul. This ain't just about the car, mate, this is rock and roll. 2 tribes, 1 country, 1 man on panorama road. Holding on for, that's how the story goes. Park the Commodore next to the Falcon out the front. Crack a cold one, pour one out, that's Australian stunt. Rivals on the track, but brothers in the shed. Holding on for, both alive, neither one is dead. Holding on for, always and forever, mate. The war never